Good morning, probably good afternoon and good evening to all you crafters. My name is Tina and welcome to Reillys Knitting-Needle. Let's get all the admin things out. My Instagram is going to be Reillys_knitting_needle. My Facebook is going to be Reillys Knitting-Needle. My TikTok, which I did start, it's just a couple blankets, is going to be Reillys Knitting-Needle. And I do have a Gmail, Reillys Knitting-Needle @gmail. If you are a new viewer and subscriber, welcome. And if you're returning, hey. Anywho, I hope you all had a great week, had a great 4th of July. We kind of just did some pizza, some fireworks with the kids, and it was good. I would have liked to have grilled, but we found a wasp nest in our grill. So that's not happening. Anywho, I did record on Tuesday, 3 goes. By the 3rd one, I breezed through it and I had a lot going on that morning. I was ready to go, I was prepared. I'm like, yeah. First off, I was having a bad hair day, which we're having one today. She's not straightened. Yeah. So that alone was bothering me. I was having a really bad hair day. And everybody was home from work. So that didn't play very well for me. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just put this on the back burner for a day or two. And then once everybody went back to work today, maybe spend the 35-40 minutes that I took to record 3 objects. A lot of babbing in between, of course, like always. So, anywho, again, thank you for joining me and stopping by and checking my channel out. I am, for those who don't know, I am a crocheter and a knitter. I've always preferred crochet over knitting until I seen how beautiful the drape. Oh my God, my fan. I'm so sorry. Sorry guys, you're gonna have to endure that for 2.5 minutes. As I was saying, I learned how to crochet, and when I seen with knitting, as far as cardigans go, beanies, and socks, I fell in love. So I've been knitting for about 7 years. I started 10 years ago, but then I stopped after like a year or 2 of doing hats and scarves. I got bored. I went into crochet. I am YouTube taught. Yes, my stepmother did crochet in front of us as we got older, not when we were younger. And I just watched her. I went to YouTube. I went to Walmart, picked up some needles and needles and hooks. And I started knitting after 3 years, and I worked on one blanket for 3 years, never again. By that point, I was dabbling in crochet in between. So I was picking up the crochet more and lessening with the needles. Up until about 2017 for Christmas, I went and bought myself a set of Chow-Goo needles, and I pushed myself. I am okay with reading patterns, your simple stuff. I mean, your stockinette, garter, make one. I just learned how to do I-cord and slip knit. I know how to do eyelets, yarn over. So I'm learning the basic, but when it starts getting intricate, oh hell no. No. I bought a dress I was speaking about last week's episode. I had bought a dress and it was gorgeous, which I didn't get to mention. The name of the pattern was Exilla Summer Dress on Etsy. And I read the pattern. It was in the evening. And I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. I go back in the next day to check this pattern, and I realize it says see diagram. Okay, so now I go to the diagram, and it's just little dashes, slants, O's. So in order to do the pattern, you have to follow the picture. No. So it is a paid pattern. I paid about $7, $8. She's on the back burner for about at least a couple of months to a year until I can learn to better further myself as far as knitting goes. Crochet, I just stopped making everything except for blankets. I used to do a lot of amigurumi. If you visit my Facebook page, Reillys Knitting-Needle, you'll see every item I have made. every single item from years ago when I first started. All my blankets, pinwheels, cardigans, hats, scarves, baby dresses, granny square blankets and cardigans. So, and like I said, amigurumi. I made a big giant bear, which he sits in my dad's house, and hopefully still he still sits there. And I didn't mind doing all that, but as I'm getting older, the kids are getting older too, so it's harder for me to focus on certain patterns when all my time is, you know, directed to my family, my kids. So I figured we're gonna stick with the easy stuff, my comfort pattern, not my pattern, the Crochet Crowds pattern. This is a comfort pattern for me, and all pinwheels, and it eats up a lot of yarn. So when yarn starts, you know, dwindling, I get to go shopping. So my crochet is just strictly blankets, unless I really find something, whether it be an amigurumi or a weird constructed hat, and then yeah, I will make it. But I prefer to do more knitting than I do crochet. So, but it's a both podcast, I do a little bit of sewing as well. I've made a couple of bags. They are garbage. I'm learning how to do that. I learned how to sew back in 3rd grade in home economics. We had that. And I was fortunate enough to have that class, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So sewing was always my thing as a kid, whether it be Barbie outfits, blankets, pillows. I did it all. By the time I think I'd hit 12, 13, I was out of the dolls, the sewing, and video games and things like that, and the skateboards. So yes, I was a tomboy growing up. So I stopped the sewing for quite some time, dabbled in it here and there for years, mostly just fixing holes on or adding a patch or something. But sewing is just random for me. Yeah, I mostly stick to my crochet, my knitting. And I will tell you, if you see me sweating, it's because I am in my, I'm in the basement. It is extremely hot down here. And if my fan is on, it's going to start bumping. So we're going to get through this weird, gross video today. We're trying to make it as quick as possible. So as I said, I don't have any finished objects. I have 2 WIPs, technically 3, but one is a cast on. The funny thing is, when I made the video 2-3 days ago, I had this much of the collar done on my sweater that I'm turning into a dress. So I have about this much done, and we're supposed to start the raglan. So I start telling everybody in the video, hey, listen, I'm going to hold off on this project for about a day or 2. And I'd like for anybody to give me some feedback. Do you think the collar should just be exactly, or make her longer and she pulls over? So it'll go from either a short turtleneck collar or a boofy. I've said it before in my videos, my scarves and my shawls, I love boof. It makes the pattern stick out more, and it's more warmer, especially my wool. I love wearing it during the fall and summertime. So with that being said, what was the point? We did it again, Tina. The collar. So I had held off, and I said, if anybody has any advice or what would you think, and I'll touch it in about a day or 2. I'll work on my dotted rays. I go upstairs and I said, forget about it. I'm not going to sit here and wait 2 or 3 days. I want to work. If anybody comes and gives me some advice, I can either go back in the top of the collar and maybe pick up, or at this point, when I go and make another one and I turn it to a regular sweater, I can do that. But at least thank you for the feedback. So I go upstairs, I start knitting, and I explain that there are 3 balls, 2 from the same lot, 1 not so much. The 1 not so much is a lot more darker. So then I go ahead and said, okay, well, we're going to use the darker for all the ribbing, the shoulder, wrists, and then the bottom of the dress. I get about halfway here into my raglan. I want to say I'm about 4, 8, 12, 16 to about 20 rounds in. I'm looking, and someone says to me, those are 2 different colors. So what do you mean? They're 2 different colors. Yeah, I know. I'm supposed to do the dark ribbing and then the rest of it lightly. So instead of swapping yarn, I went halfway with this dark, and I'm like, really? So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the sweater that I'm making. Now, the pattern is the Classic, and forgive me if I butcher it. It's called the Classic by East Space Tricot. I have no clue how. I think I'm pronouncing it right. The Classic by East Space Tricot. Anyways, so it is a sweater, and I've been looking for dresses, and as I said, I'm not working, so I don't really have $10, $20 to be throwing around for patterns. So I've been wanting to do this free pattern for quite some time. It's on Etsy, and I realized it is hot down here. I need to hurry up. So then I realized I could just turn it to a dress. Now, granted, when it comes to us women, we either prefer box, they call box, I call it muumuu style, muumuu style, or you have your, your waist shaping and your figure shaping. There's obviously, it's a sweater and it's kind of boxy looking with the raglan, but yeah, I don't care for all the waist shaping. I'm in the process of losing weight. I think in the last 7 months I've been here, I've probably already lost like 25 pounds. I'm working on that, so that's why I said I'm not too worried about the waist shaping, bust shaping and all that stuff. It don't bother me. It's more for me to just wear when I'm outside or we have family get-togethers, and that's really it, because I'm not going to be wearing no thick-ass acrylic, during certain weather. Anywho. So, as I said, it's a sweater, and I'm turning it into a dress. I'm going to pull out the two different skeins. I can't pull out the other one very long because there's a lot of yarn that I had to unravel. So this is the darker one. You probably can't see in this room because in here I got all my lights here. Usually when it's sunny, I can get beautiful light this way, but here in Georgia, it's been really gross. I don't know why we're getting so much rain. So now I know when I pivoted it a certain way the other day, you can tell it was different. Probably there. You see how here seems a lot darker than up there? I know you could probably tell from the, there you go. We figured it out. I was gonna say we found it. And this ain't Dora the Explorer. Anywho, so here's my cast on. You can tell the difference. Now, here we go. See how peachy she is more than she is here? So that's why I said, it's okay, because you can, you see a lot of contrast. Like one of my favorite maxi dresses, the maxi dress where it's like a burgundy, it's long sleeve, it's burgundy, and then when it gets like either here or here, it's all gray. So that was my inspiration with the maxi dresses, how they're different colors, or they're two, top is darker, bottom is light, or it's not even a color, gray is a shade. So this is what I'm going with. I don't have the time, money, or patience to go back and start hunting down lighter colors. And I don't think it looks really good walking into a Joann's and be like, hey, can I go match this to something else? This is mine. I'm walking in with it. No. So anywho, this is a large. At the moment, I'm freaking out because I'm like, where are my shoulders gonna go? Now, there was some German short row shaping that was supposed to be for the back. That's probably the only part of the pattern I did not understand. So like with Stephen West's pattern, he'll tell you stop after 12 stitches and work the wrong side. This one tells me knit 12 stitches, GSR, don't turn, but work wrong side. How am I supposed to work the wrong side and not turn it unless I'm doing slips back the other way? I mean, I think that's right. That sounds, I don't know, it sounds about right, but anywho. So I did not do the German short row. Again, acrylic, it pretty much stretches, so. Oh, I wasn't ready to stretch her yet though. I wasn't ready. Anyway, so she will stretch. I'm hoping that, because that purple sweater that I did wear on one of my podcasts, that was a large. I made that for my 18-year-old. Yeah, I have an 18. Oh no, she's 19 now. Sorry. But yeah, so if that large I made for her and it fit me just perfect, especially after losing the weight, I'm pretty sure with the large it'll be good. Now, granted, their pattern calls for DK and fingering. I'm going with acrylic, and I'm going with a 5mm hook. Chalgu needle. Oh my lord. Only because that sweater, and there's a cardigan that I made using acrylic yarn and a 5mm, and they both fit me perfect, so I stuck with the large. And if it doesn't fit, lesson learned, and we just go back in again and do it a different size. I have a boo-boo in my work, but anyways, so here's my raglan. This is a purl and knit through back loop, so it comes out really pretty. I mean, I like the way the ribbing stands out. Though the ribbing, if you notice, it looks like it's slanting, but that's okay. So the name of the color is Creamsicle. It is Pound of Love by Lion Brand. So, and a 4 worsted weight. So that's what we casted on and what we're working on. Okay. Now let me carefully get this back in. As I said, when I realized what happened, I was like, no, this is not happening to me. I will tell you though, oh my lord, I'm so greasy right now. I'm so sorry. It's so hot down here. But all my stuff is down here. I didn't feel like hauling it up, and my cats are all over the place anyways. I learned how to tink. Now, I know how to tinker back. I do know how to. But because I was already so far, like I want to say I was about up to roughly about this much in the pattern when I realized, holy crap. I'm like, how am I going to take all of this out without having to do this? I mean, I don't want to do this part again. I don't. I pulled back enough to where I still saw knit through back loop and the purl bump. So I got real close to that part, and I took a 2.5mm on a 37-inch wire, or it's already connected. And I just took it and I ran it back and forth until I picked up all the stitches, and then started knitting again, flipping the switch, not switches, stitches. I flipped the stitches the right way and then continued, and I was able to get back on my A game. So, oh thank God, I didn't want, if I would have had to rip it, I probably would have waited until Sunday or Monday again to just say, forget about it, we ain't doing this. We'll do it another day. I got lucky, so I know how to tink now. Just be wise and go with something way smaller and don't go too fast. Tinkering, whatever it's called. So, but that's my cast on. That's that project. We're gonna go with the pinwheel. So the pinwheel is Caron 1 pound, just a regular white and a regular black. I always have Carons on hand all the time. The only Caron I have left right now, as a matter of fact, hold on, I think I got a gray one. Yes. So we got a gray, heather gray, and I got 2 fuchsias. Other than that, sorry. And then my shoes don't help. Crocs. Anyways, so I always have Carons. But recently, because I'm making pinwheels and I'm just banging out all the yarn, I got to get some more. So I can't give you really the specifications on a Caron 1 pound, but, excuse me. This is my baby. Like I said, she's my go-to. I think I might have shown this stand before. My husband got me this for Mother's Day. You put your yarn on. It's okay. Well, more my kids got it for me. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. The kids picked and chose this for me. And she's okay. Like if I'm sitting in the living room and I yank, she starts, swaying back and forth. Her base starts to come loose. The top 2 rods start to come loose. If I put her at the edge of my bed real close and I yank, she's not going anywhere. So she works the best actually attached to the end of my bed. Anyways, so, and I have to be very delicate because, I mean, even though I could just move the streams back. I'm very meticulous about certain things. So let's get enough slack. This is the Pinwheel Blanket by the Crochet Crowd. Now, I did show this in my last video. There we go. I'm trying to find the stitch marker. So from here all the way up to here is where I had last. And this is what I've put on, about 7 rows. So she's getting bigger, much bigger. And I like doing a dartboard because the dartboard effect, honestly, it goes a lot faster than the actual pinwheel. I guess because you're changing color every 3 rows, you don't notice that the rows are getting longer and longer because you're changing the yarn, again, every 3 rows. So with just your basic pinwheel, like my blue Danaboom, that one took about 2 or 3 weeks, and that's because after a while I get bored. It's just repetitive. Blue, gray, whichever color, whatever comes first, right? So yeah, with the regular pinwheel effect, like a peppermint look, it takes me a lot longer. This will probably be done, I will say, next week, between working on my dotted rays and now casting this on. I have a lot of projects going, and I did talk about them before. I actually wrote them down this time. So, and before we get into that, we'll finish the last one, kind of breeze through what I'm working on. And again, one, it's not even breaking the bank, but one little cute item I picked up a week or 2 ago. It was probably last week. I think it was Saturday. Anyways, so the yarn that I'm using for my Stephen West is a Halloween yarn that I got from Hobie. You only see this yarn. Wow, look what's going on here. Oh no. Okay, so this is a Halloween yarn that I'm not sure if they have it out right now, if it's like sold all year round, but I know when I got this one was about 2 or 3 years ago, before I can get my hands on some of the greenish gray ones, the black and blue, and the purple and pinks. So it's a Hobie yarn, does not have a name. All their yarn has numbers, everything's a number. Did I start working on this? Thank God I did not. Okay. When I was recording the other day, I was in the middle of it. So I was just sitting here, hey, how are you? You know, what's up? How's your week been? Well, because I don't like to be in the middle of a row and I wasn't paying attention. Anyways, so this is my Dotted Rays by Stephen West. And I think we're going to have to get another cord because you see how she's bending in. So this is all eyelets. And then my I-cord. Oh, here goes my stomach, excuse me. It's breakfast time. I wanted to get this over done with because it's so damn hot. So I've explained before in the video, a couple of my little videos there. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here with all these gapy holes. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. See? Now, I know the shawl is supposed to come winding out like that. But looking at everybody else's pictures, I see those 5 holes. And then as she's getting bigger, the holes stop. And then it's just like one eyelet every like 15, 20 rounds or something of that sort. I mean, excuse me. I'm doing something right if this is still coming along really nice, that part of it. Here, I know I messed up. I think I picked up 3 stitches from where Steven said not to pick up from on your I-cord, which I did. But again, as a first run, I definitely would like to make this again using different colors. So when we last spoke, this one here is just my my 12 count one when it tells me, you know, stop before 12 stitches. So I don't want to lose it. I have it there. But the watermelon is where we were and how much I've gotten done so far. So again, she's coming out real pretty. The count is right. All my counting numbers are correct. I'm not short a number. I'm not over a number. I'm not having to add stitches in between. So if the count is right, I think I'm doing something right. But I'm hoping to work on her again the next day or two. I did take a couple of days off after I was done recording last week's episode. I said, forget about it. I need a break. I've been working for a week straight. I jumped on some Story of Seasons, which is like a Harvest Moon. It's a farming simulator on the Switch. So for the last couple of days, I've been spending my time playing on my Switch, playing my video games. And at nighttime, maybe get like 10, 15 minutes of knitting, or if not in the morning when I have my coffee. So that's all the projects I have. A little break in the bank. It's a cute little glass jar that they sell at the corner gas station. About $6. And this is not water. This is full-blown sake. I will not drink it as much as I love sake. Sake is just one of my faves. I prefer to drink it nice and warm. But sake is also something I think I like to have as a treat, like maybe twice a year. Honestly, like twice a year. Not my cup of sake. I know, it's my cup of tea, but it's not tea. It's not my cup of sake. So yeah, I really fell in love with the glass. She's super cute. So like another decoration to add to my desk. Now, as far as my projects go, as I said, I'll run down the list real quick. I've spoke about them before, but I didn't really know either the names, or I was just like, yeah, I got something going. So at the moment, we do have the Dotted Rays by Stephen West. I have the short raglan cardigan. Facial expressions, Tina, stop it. Sorry. By Stacy at Very Pink Knits. I am making a Harry Styles scarf. It is free-handed. If you watch his video, Late Night Talking, when he's out in the street on the bed, he is wearing a knitted pink and green, I believe it's a 2x2 rib. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm just going with a regular tubular, and I'll show it again. It's something I'm not really pushing because it's supposed to be extremely long. So that's more of a whenever I feel like it, or, you know, I'm just under the weather and kind of just go around and around in a circle. With that being said, I do have a tube scarf as well. That's my car scarf. I leave it in there. My husband and I go out for a little bit. I got something to do. I have a shawl called Close to You. I didn't get her name, but the name of the shawl is Close to You. I got a pair of socks going. I have my pinwheel blanket going. I have a snowflake blanket going by the Crochet Crowd. I can't remember the name of it, but it's something of that sort, snowflake. It was released, I believe, in either October or November of 2022. And then I have the classic sweater that I'm going to turn into a dress. But the other pattern I definitely am looking to hopefully get in maybe next month. Let me at least get 3 projects banged out. And if I can, I'm hoping to buy the Woolly Waffle by Stephen West. Thankfully, that's one thing I really like about this creator. I don't know about other creators because I really haven't like ventured off. But one thing I like about Stephen West is that if there's something really intricate, he seems like the only one that will go on there and say, hey, let's get you started so you know what you're doing. For me, that's telling me I'd feel bad you spend all this money and you don't know what the hell you're doing. I actually started talking about that in my last video where, you know, it sucks because we spend all these money on patterns and then if we can't read it, not that I want a refund. I definitely don't want a refund because I'm going to eventually learn how to do it and I want to learn. I will push myself. Problem is that trying to find the resources, sometimes you can't. I mean, you just really can't. To find an I-cord, I can find an I-cord, but thankfully Stephen West had uploaded for his Dotted Rays how to start the I-cord along with the rest of the stitching. So it was just perfect. I can do an I-cord all day. How do I get it to connect? Or I don't understand how you start it. So with that being said, I did speak about that in my video, but I kind of got a little too, again, I notice I get, you see, when I start to get a little antsy, I get very, I gotta put it all out there. Like, I have to state my piece. Positively though, so I was going in like, oh, we should do this and we should do that. And again, that's on the creators and the pattern creators. It'd be great if somebody was like, hey, listen, I just uploaded a pattern, it's $10. You see this little passage? I'm gonna show you how to start and or do that part, so that way as you're growing, or when you get up to that part, you're ready to go. You know what you're doing. So resources are very limited out there, from what I see, from what I see or what I'm trying to do as far as project wise goes. So, but again, I'm probably going to start sticking with a lot of Stephen West patterns, especially now that he's showing things. Joji Locatelli, she's another that I just adore her patterns. And then I want to go on to Petite Knits. Their scarves, I do have the Sophie scarf, I believe I bought from them. Gorgeous pattern. I really want to do it out of wool, or I have lace. Oh, girl, where'd you go? She was here somewhere. Oh, well. That's actually weird. I found her. So she's down there somewhere. But, yeah, anyways. So I have a Sophie scarf that I definitely want to cast on, hopefully another week or two, especially to cover up my mop. She's so bad today. Anyways, so I have a lot more cast-ons I plan on doing in the future. I mean, who doesn't, right? It's just a matter of actually getting some of them off the hooks and off the needles so we can go ahead and start. Like I said, I got about 7 going, but 3 of them are really minor, like even down to the socks. I made my 12 pairs for 2022. I casted on leftover that I had from, which I named it Girls Just Want to Have Fun and or KK Bubblegum. I named those socks, if you go to one of my other episodes. And I took the leftovers and I'm doing stripe by stripe now. So instead of full teal and pink, I'm doing teal, pink, and then vice versa. Pink, teal. So that's a project that when I feel like it, I can just mindlessly do. Definitely stick to my mains. Stephen West, my Pinwheel, and my East Base Tricot. And hopefully I can keep finding some of these resources, or even y'all, you reach out like, hey, listen, you were talking about this. Here's somebody that can help you, or better yet, I can, help you. Basically, I guess what I'm asking is, and I know it sounds weird and bad maybe, but maybe dumb down some of these patterns just a little bit for some of us. In a perfect world, right? So, but I will continue. I don't care. If I spend the $10, $20, I lose it. That's okay. I would rather, like I said, lose it, but later on I can come back to it, than kick myself in the butt. Like, I really should have maybe bought it. I probably could have winged it. And, now I feel bad. Like, oh, I could be doing so much more, making so much more, but it is what it is. We all have some, something we all want to cast on, and something we're just dying to get off the hooks, right? Anyways, I do want to thank you all for stopping by, and thank you for stopping to my short video today. Again, it's extremely hot. I think I just heard one of the kids on the stairs, so it's perfect timing to wake up. I might even go outside and cut some grass today. I get bored. And as much as I have knitting and things to do, I actually quite enjoy being outside and cutting grass. So I might do that today. Again, thank you for stopping by. Please don't forget to hit that sub and that like. And if you want a notification, make sure you go ahead and turn on your notifications for whenever the hell I upload. Happy hooking and happy knitting. And until then, I will see you soon. Bye.